welcome to the Real Estate Investment Network. My name is Patrick Francie. I am the CEO of the Real Estate Investment Network, and I'm joined today by the Chief Growth Officer, JG Francoeur, or Jean-Guy Francoeur, however you prefer. And today in this particular video, we're going to walk you through all of the value, all of the things that you get as a member of the REIN community. Investing in real estate, the tools, the whys, the hows, and it's going to take us about 15 or 20 minutes. So sit back, relax. We've got a lot to go through to just share with you all of what you get when you become a part of this community. So listen in, we'll get started. So we're going to break this down in some sections, and JG is going to walk us through each of those sections in terms of the segments so that it makes sense to you and the flow of how you really get the most out of being part of this community, how it'll work for you. So JG, I'll pass it over to you. What are the first kind of things, or what are the first segments that we want to look at?
Well, that's a great question, Patrick. And I think the first question that people need to answer for themselves is, why real estate? I can tell you this right now, folks. It's not about the sticks. It's not about the bricks. It's not about the tenants. It's certainly not about the toilets. So why real estate? It's about your financial security. It's about your financial certainty. And ultimately, it's about your financial freedom. And that is a process that we take you through at the Real Estate Investment Network. And Patrick, I think this is the right place to introduce the concept of a system. You know, for 30 years, over 30 years, the Real Estate Investment Network has been teaching hundreds of thousands of people how to invest in real estate. And our students that have followed our systems have built up billions of dollars. In fact, $5.47 billion of real estate and counting. And that's because they followed a system. But that's difficult, Patrick, in today's day and age, when there's so much information coming at us, from podcasts to YouTube to books to other master classes online. There's just so much fragmented information. But here, what people are going to get as part of All Access is a system for success. And I would say that's the first thing that's critical to understand.
Well, there's a couple aspects to that, JG. First and foremost, the process and the system that we've been teaching for many, many years is in fact proven. To your point, $5.4 billion. Challenges that many face is there's so much information coming at them, like you say. And when you look at education, it seems to be free, but it's a segment of a non-system. And generally behind the scenes is that the education part of it is actually a lead into a sale called, I've got a piece of real estate to sell you. I've got a $25,000 coaching program to sell you. Now, if that's what you're looking for, perhaps that's okay. But generally what we find within this community 30 years later is that people are literally looking for a system and a process so that they can do it themselves and or be part of a community that has the resources to support them in doing that. And of course, beyond education, we do that. And we'll get into what's beyond the education of the system and the process of actually getting deals done. We'll get into that next. But to your point, it really is pragmatic. It isn't speculation. It is investment. And that takes focus and understanding how real estate works.
All right, Patrick, the first thing that's critical here that is a part of All Access is what we call the network. Now, I want you to think of the network, folks, as the digital glue that holds everything together for you. This is your one-stop shop digital area for you to find everything related to the Real Estate Investment Network, related to All Access. It's all right here. So let's jump in so I could show you.
JG, we use the term the digital glue that holds it together because this really is the epicenter of all that you need to succeed investing in real estate. It really is the parts, the pieces, the content, and the access that you have to the community to move forward, creating and building your real estate portfolio.
All right, folks, the first thing you see here when you log into your network is you're going to have the Start Here tab. Now, this is your quick start program. In order for you to get started, we've essentially shot 6 fundamental videos that you must follow in order to really understand what's happening here in the network and how you can get started. A lot of people, Patrick, come to the Real Estate Investment Network and they might be in the middle of a deal. They may be looking to acquire more real estate. People are at different parts of their journey. And this quick start guide is meant to really get people started quickly because there's a lot of information here in the network, but this is the place to start.
Well, this is such a great point that you make, JG. I mean, we joke often that we have members within the community that they come onto the community, they still haven't quite figured out how to spell real estate. Is it one word? Is it two words? Do we capitalize it? All the way to those individuals who have multiple doors in their portfolio. The powerful thing about the network is you get to enter the conversation, if you will, or you get to enter that space based on where you are at on your own journey of investing in real estate. So whether you're literally a beginner or somebody more advanced, more sophisticated, more savvy, there is content there for you. There is a way to get in this, and hitting the dashboard gives you the direction to go.
All right, now I'm going to jump around a little bit from not necessarily in order of the tabs, because I want you to follow the logic here. Oftentimes people want the course that the Real Estate Investment Network offers, and that course is called Real Estate Investing in Canada. This, Patrick, is based on a book, a best-selling book, all-time best-selling book that we've enhanced and put it into a course, and that comes as a part of All Access, and you can find that right here under the Academy.
So this, JG, is part of what we called the digital glue. This is the system. This is based on the best-selling book that has been a bestseller since 2006, every year since. Real Estate Investing in Canada. This is the digital program that we've updated and enhanced over the years and is very, very current, but it literally walks you through the steps. You get to enter that particular digital program where it fits and suits you based on your experience.
And you can see here, folks, as you start the course, there's all these different modules. Within the modules, there's actually downloads. There's actually handouts, there's PDFs, there's documents, everything you need is here. This is a complete turnkey system, not just a course, even though it's called the Real Estate Investing in Canada online course. It's actually a complete turnkey system that's going to help you transact in real estate. It's the same system I used to do real estate. It's the same system Patrick used to do real estate. And it's the same system over almost 200,000 people have used to do real estate in Canada. Incredible. It's all there, and it's available to you at your own pace, in your own space. It's available 24/7, no matter where you are in the world. All right, let's get to the next part here, which is fascinating and probably one of the most exciting for people, and that is events. Now, we do a lot of events at the Real Estate Investment Network, and there's essentially 3 types of events that you're going to see. They're all right here on the right-hand side. If you clicked on events here, you'd be able to go to our events calendar, and this is where you see everything that's happening. And there could be anywhere from 5 to 8 to sometimes 10 events per month, depending on what's going on. So the 3 types of events are, number 1, virtual meetings. We have a lot of virtual meetings, Patrick, where we cover research, we cover economic fundamentals, we cover information that's critical to people's success, like raising capital and property management. And in these virtual meetings, people can join from all over the country, and doesn't matter where you are, you get to join. And we have some that are themed for the East Coast and some that are themed for the West Coast. And these meetings are very, very beneficial. And that's the first type of event. The second type of event is we often have special live events in person. We host them in Toronto, we host them in Edmonton, we host them in Calgary, we host them in Vancouver or the Lower Mainland area in British Columbia. So we host them all over the country. And these live events are also very impactful because we also include not only just the teaching, not only the research, not only the education, we also include a lot of networking. And that's where you start forming that community, which we'll touch on more in a little bit. And the third type of event is what we call a working session. And a working session is something that really gets into the nuts and bolts of a particular topic. We might talk about financial planning. We might talk about property management. We might talk about construction or maybe renovation or maybe coach homes. I mean, there's a variety of topics, and anything related to real estate, including the super awesome topics like taxes. We cover everything in working sessions where we get really into the nuts and bolts. And those are also both virtual and live, albeit mostly we do those virtuals. That way you can join from anywhere in the country.
Well, I think you make a really great point in a couple aspects of this. First and foremost, if you are one of those individuals that likes live events, great. There's going to be some live events for you to attend. But ultimately, as a national organization, we have the virtual events, and the virtual events are also an opportunity for you to see what's happening in other provinces and other cities, because not everybody wants to or it doesn't necessarily make sense to invest in your own backyard based on what's happening economically. So you may be based in one province and seeing the opportunities in another province. And that's where these virtual and our virtual community and virtual events really play to what you have for a strategy and really can support that strategy. Along the way, when we have the working sessions, they're generally and almost actually always hosted by what we refer to as trusted partners who are experts in whatever topic that they are presenting. Now, these are smaller groups where you get to ask questions and get answers to those questions and actually interact live virtually with an expert that is teaching in that particular space. So JG, when we look at us as a national organization, the mix of virtual, the mix of special live events, the mix of working with trusted partners in working sessions gives you the opportunity, again, to kind of pick and choose what do you need that's best supportive of your goals.
Another very, very exciting feature is our master classes here. If you click on the left-hand side in the master classes, you're going to see a ton of video content. These is professionally shot content on a variety of topics that are real estate relevant, that are going to make you, wherever you are in the real estate space, you're going to become a sophisticated investor by consuming this content. And as you can see here, we talk about the art and science of property management, the 15 steps to real estate success, densification, marketing your rentals. This is really in-depth information, Patrick, how to treat your real estate like a business that is going to turn people from amateurs into professionals.
You know, within this context here, when we look at over 30 years, we've literally coached, supported, guided thousands of real estate investors. Again, 5.4 billion, 30 years of experience. You know, 285,000 people have been through our programs. Here's the thing about all of that is that we are able to address all aspects of what you're looking for investing in real estate. We know what stops people from having success or the challenges that they face. And within this context, if you're watching these particular educative videos, you're starting to understand and to learn to get past those, what we'll call ceiling of limitations, their challenges, or they're just really a lack of understanding. And this is what supports you in continuing to take steps forward, again, to build that portfolio to achieve that financial freedom.
Now, I want to draw your attention to Knowledge Vault. And Knowledge Vault is actually really exciting because we here have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of critical documents. These are documents, Patrick, that we've been assembling for 30 years. This literally compresses decades of people's learning curve into days, because we have everything from banking forms to bookkeeping and accounting forms, due diligence documents, joint venture agreements, lease options, rent to owns, multifamily investing, different information about that, renovations, RRSPs, and so much more. There's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents here, and it's all in the critical library, critical documents, which is part of Knowledge Vault. And everyone who joins All Access instantly has access to all of this. That's why we call it All Access. The other thing, Patrick, here is research reports. This is really great because this is what turns people from speculators to actual professionals that are sophisticated, because these research reports nobody else has. This is truly unique to the Real Estate Investment Network.
This really is a model that has grown and reputationally REIN was built on over the past 30 years. You know, we believe and see strongly that, you know, real estate is something that is driven by the economic fundamentals. It's driven by the economic influencers. But ultimately, as investors, what do we want to know? We want to know, what is real estate going to look like in the future? We want to know what a city, what a province, even as a country, where are we going into the future? Real estate is driven by economic fundamentals, and understanding those fundamentals and then actually having access to the research gives you decision-making power that takes the emotion out of it and faces the data, that you can get a true aspect or a true view of where real estate is going. We talk a lot about gross domestic product, population growth. We talk about jobs and are there lots of jobs? We talk about transportation changes. We look at what's happening in the world today at a macro level, right down to a micro level, so that when you're looking at the decisions that you need to make of where to invest in real estate and why to invest in real estate, again, it's data driven based on the economic data that supports real estate growth into the future. We're not so concerned about real estate past or even what's happening in the real estate world today. As investors, as sophisticated investors, we want to see the future of where real estate is going. Where am I going to get the greatest growth and the greatest upside in the portfolio that I'm bringing and putting together? So JG, when we talk about research, this is one topic we take seriously, and it really is foundational to the Real Estate Investment Network.
The last big point to cover here for you is community. Community, being in the right room at the right time is absolutely paramount to your success. Patrick, I know you have a lot of stories to share when it comes to this. I know myself, if I wasn't in the right room at the right time back in early 2011, 2010, 11, and 12 at the Real Estate Investment Network, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I'm forever grateful for that. And we have community that is being formed at physical events. We have community that's being formed at these digital events and these virtual events, but we also facilitate that, Patrick, with digital connections. And we have a connect button right here. You could see it in your network, and you could literally connect with other members. You can just search them out, first name, their last name, or what they're looking for. You want to find somebody who's looking for a money partner or a time partner or an accountability buddy or whatever the case may be. You could literally search the community for that and make those kinds of connections. And when you do connect with those people, it kind of shows up like this, where the notification comes in and people are actually asking you, do you want to join and do you want to make that connection? Once you do that, Patrick, not only do you have a forever strong community of like-minded investors that are there for you physically, maybe in the same city as you, but also throughout the country, Patrick.
Well, it's so interesting that when we look at what really drives success, and this, and that is that when you put yourself in an environment of like-minded people who are collaborative, where the culture is supportive, you're setting yourself up for success. Literally the REIN community across the country is made up of thousands of individuals who have been investing in real estate, who've been part of this community, who are part of this community, and really understand there's almost, I'll call it a brotherhood or a sisterhood of people who were part of the REIN community and are part of the community to this day, who are still actively investing in real estate. The point is this, is when you're part of this community, even talking about being part of it opens up a door of conversation, of connection, of network. And that often leads to opportunities. It's certainly not uncommon for this network of individuals to actually be doing business with each other, to sharing information, to sharing deals, to sharing lessons learned, not just the good ones, but sometimes the not so good ones. The point is this, is when you immerse yourself in this culture, in this community, you are actually setting yourself up for success for those who have gone before you.
In fact, Patrick, we have a button for that as part of the network called Opportunities. And when you click in here, you can see all the different opportunities that are presented by not only trusted partners, but our investor-focused realtors, which are so difficult to come by. We have literally the best in the business. And the opportunities you see here are off-market opportunities. These are not opportunities that REIN is a part of. This is just people connecting with people, Patrick, and we facilitate that because we know that's how real estate gets done.
30 years later, we paved the way. We show you how to get past those ceilings of limitations. We open up the door of opportunity for you to learn, to connect with the right people. We open up the door of opportunity for you to connect with experts, what we refer to also as trusted partners, those individuals who are investor focused, whether that be a mortgage broker or a realtor or a lawyer or an accounting firm. It doesn't matter. This is the team that is investor focused. And that's such a huge component of what we do, is to support you, giving you the tools, the content, the learning that you need, and the support and guidance to make very, very strong, decisions in how you'll grow your portfolio the right way, and doing it through a system and a proven process for getting deals done, JG.
Patrick, we promised that this would be 15, 20 minutes. And because there's so much more to show, but I think that gives people a really good overview. let's touch on one final topic before we go here, and that is, why is now a good time? What we often hear and what I often hear, Patrick, is people say, I'll join Rain when I do my first deal or when I do my next deal. Why is runway so important? Why is sharpening the saw such a critical component of success in this real estate game?
Well, let's get a couple things that we have learned over the years. First and foremost, real estate happens in cycles. Secondly, there is no bad time to invest in real estate. I know that's a big statement, but there is no bad time to invest in real estate. There's just the wrong strategy given what's going on economically. And that, of course, is part of the learning curve. The point is this: we need to take the time to learn. This isn't a short-term, get-rich-quick fix. This isn't about buying a piece of real estate today and being rich tomorrow. This is not the conversation. The runway is about learning, about networking, about gaining momentum, so that when you finally make a decision into the market that you choose, you're kind of hitting the ground running. So it's taking the time, sharpen the saw, create your network, understand who your team is, understand the economic fundamentals that you're doing your research on, so you're making smart decisions into the market that's going to serve you into the future based on your strategy. So JG, at the end of the day, there is no get rich quick. It is take the time to learn, then pull the trigger, get those deals done, knowing with confidence that you're making data-driven decisions, not emotional decisions that sometimes people make and get in trouble.
I couldn't agree with you more, Patrick. In fact, when I started my real estate journey, and it's been now well over 12 years, my very first investing decision was to join the Real Estate Investment Network. And I'm so glad I did, because today, as the CEO of Vistra Property Group, I get the pleasure of managing, almost $50 million of real estate. That none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the Real Estate Investment Network. And when I first got started, what I want people to know is I didn't even have enough money to do my first deal. I needed the information. I needed the master classes. I needed the critical documents and the library of information. Without it, I certainly wouldn't have done the kinds of things I've been able to achieve in real estate. And it was all because of the Real Estate Investment Network. And it's all because I took action. And at the end of the day, Patrick, that's what it comes down to. People that will be successful are those that are going to take action. And I think that this incredible platform, the network, and everything the Real Estate Investment Network offers for real estate investors is exactly that, an incredible platform for people to stand on. But people have to take that action themselves. They have to join, and then they have to put this information into practice.
Listen, at the end of the day, you got to pull the trigger to move forward, to create that financial future. It isn't going to be something that washes over you. You actually have to show up and take action. If nothing else, we've seen thousands of real estate investors succeed one step at a time. To JG's point, many have started with absolutely no money, but through the education, learned how to get deals done. Others had lots of capital, but they wanted to make sure they preserve that capital. So it all depends on where you enter the conversation or enter your learning, I guess, if you will. And JG, this community is all about getting supported to get your financial future growing and going and investing in real estate the right way.
I'm sure glad that I joined and made the decision that I did. And now I hope that you make that same decision, because this could literally be a fork in the road moment for you, where the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years can be entirely different from the decision you make today.
Beautiful. JG, thanks for your time. And listen, we look forward to meeting you in person, virtually, or live.